Welcome. This is not just a video. This is your wake-up call. If you're honest with yourself, you already feel it. Something is off. You're tired, but not from working too hard. You're exhausted from being distracted. Your days are full, but your life feels empty. You keep scrolling, switching, reacting. And at the end of the day, you wonder where your time went. I've been there. I know what it feels like to try, to plan, to promise yourself that tomorrow will be different, and then watch another day disappear. One notification leads to another. One excuse turns into a habit. And slowly, without realizing it, you start living below your potential. Look around. How many people do you know who are busy all day, but building nothing? How many dreams are waiting untouched, because there's still time? The truth is, time doesn't wait. Dreams don't die with noise. They die quietly, one ignored day at a time. You were not born to be average. You were not born to scroll endlessly, compare your life to others, doubt yourself, and give up slowly. You were born with a reason, a fire, and a future that demands your focus. But focus is under attack every single day. Your attention is being stolen. Your energy is being drained. Your potential is being delayed. And the scariest part is this: it doesn't feel dramatic. It feels normal. That's how people lose their lives without ever realizing it. This moment, right now, matters more than you think. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Because every day you delay focusing on what truly matters, you are silently choosing a future you may not want. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to tell you the truth. In this video, I'm going to share 10 principles that can rebuild your focus, sharpen your mind, and help you take control of your life again. These are not complicated tricks. They are simple rules that work if you apply them consistently. But they only work if you listen closely and decide, right now, that this moment will not be wasted. So pause. Take a breath. Put your phone down if you can. Listen not just with your ears, but with honesty. Because this is more than content. This is a mirror. And if you choose to look into it, this could be the moment your life starts moving forward again. Don't waste it. Before we talk about discipline, habits, or focus techniques, we need to talk about something more important. Something most people skip. Your reason. Motivation is loud, but weak. It comes and goes. One good video, one good quote, one good morning, and you feel ready. But the moment life gets hard, motivation disappears. That's why most people quit. Your reason doesn't disappear. Your why stays. If you don't know why you're doing something, you will never stay focused for long. You might start strong, but you won't last. Because when pain shows up, and it always does, motivation runs away. Only your why remains. Let me ask you something, and don't answer quickly. What is your real reason? Not the fake one you tell people. Not the one that sounds impressive. Not, I want to be successful, or, I want to make money. Those are surface answers. They don't keep you moving when you're tired, scared, and alone. Your real reason is personal. It's emotional. It's the one that hurts a little when you think about it. Maybe you want to make your parents proud because you saw them struggle their whole life. Maybe you want to break a cycle of poverty, fear, or limitation that has followed your family for generations. Maybe you want to give your child the life you never had. Or maybe you just want to look at yourself one day and say, I didn't waste my life. That is a real reason. Here's the difference between a fake reason and a real one. A fake reason sounds good, but feels empty. A real reason doesn't need an audience. It keeps you awake at night. It brings emotion into your chest. Sometimes it brings tears. Let me tell you a real story. There was a girl from a poor village. No electricity at home. No internet. No quiet place to study. Every night, she sat under a street light with a book in her hands. Cars passed. People stared. Mosquitoes bit her skin. But she stayed. Why? Her mother died. Not because the illness was impossible to treat, but because they didn't have money to reach a hospital in time. That moment burned something inside her. She promised herself, I will never let another mother die because of poverty. That promise became her why. Every time her body felt weak, she remembered her mother's face. Every time her mind wanted to quit, quitting felt more painful than continuing. Today she saves lives, not because she was more motivated than others, but because her reason was stronger than her pain. That's what focus is built on. When your why is weak, discomfort wins. When your why is strong, excuses become quiet. So here's your exercise, and don't skip it. Write your reason down. Don't type it. Write it. Speak it out loud when no one is watching. Feel it in your body. Let it hurt a little. Ask yourself, what happens if I don't change? Who pays the price if I stay the same? Sit with those questions. Because once your why is clear, discipline becomes easier. Focus becomes natural. You don't need to force yourself anymore. You move because stopping feels worse than continuing. Find your reason. Everything else depends on it. Here's a hard truth most people don't want to hear. You're not failing because you're lazy. You're failing because you're busy doing the wrong things. I used to feel productive all day. My schedule was full. My to-do list was long. I replied to messages, cleaned my workspace, checked emails, watched videos, planned and planned again. At night, I felt exhausted. But nothing actually moved forward. That's fake productivity. Busy does not mean effective. Movement does not mean progress. An activity does not equal achievement. Real progress is born from deep work. Deep work means doing one important thing with full attention, without distraction, without multitasking, without excuses. And here's the part that hurts. Most days, there is only one task that truly matters. Everything else is noise. This is where the one thing per day rule changes everything. Every morning, before touching your phone, ask yourself one simple question. If I could only do one thing today that would move me closer to my dream, what would it be? Not 5 things. Not 10. 1. Then protect that task like your future depends on it, because it does. Let me give you a real example. There was a man who worked as a security guard. Night shifts. Low pay. No support. While others watched movies or scrolled their phones, he made a decision. Every night, from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., he studied coding. Just one skill. No distractions. No shortcuts. 2 hours of deep focus. 2 years later, he walked away from that job. Today, he's a software engineer. Not because he was smarter than everyone else, but because he focused on the most important task every single day. That's the power of focus. Now let's talk about priorities, because this is where most people break. You say you want success. You say you want focus. But when I look at your day, it's full of things that don't serve your goal. You reply to every message. You say yes to every invitation. You do things to avoid conflict, to please others, to feel accepted. And slowly, your dream gets pushed to the corner. This is how dreams die. Not with failure, but with distraction. Setting priorities means you stop treating everything as important. It means you decide what matters and protect it fiercely. And here's a simple exercise that will expose the truth. Take a pen and draw 3 circles. In the first circle, write everything you want in life. In the second circle, write what you actually do every day. In the third circle, write your main goal. Now compare them. If your daily actions don't align with your goal, you will never reach it. This isn't motivation. It's math. Your future is built by what you do repeatedly, not by what you hope for. The most successful people in the world don't have more time than you. They have clearer priorities. They say no more than they say yes. They don't chase everything. They chase one thing and give it everything they have. Saying no is not selfish. It's necessary. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't matter, you say no to your dream. I know it's uncomfortable. People may not understand. They may call you obsessed, boring, or selfish. Let them. No one will protect your future for you. Focus is not about doing more. It's about doing less, but better. So decide today. Stop being busy. Start being effective. Choose one important task each day. Set your priorities clearly. Say no without guilt. And remember, when your life is full of noise, your goals become a whisper. But when you cut the noise, your purpose becomes a roar. This is where real focus begins. Let me say this clearly, even if it makes you uncomfortable. Time is not your problem. Energy is not your problem. Focus is not your problem. The real problem is that you don't treat time like the priceless asset it is. Every single day, you wake up with something extremely rare in your hands. 24 hours. That's 1,440 minutes. 86,400 seconds. And here's the part no one wants to face. You will never get those seconds back. Ever. Time is the only currency in life that cannot be saved, borrowed, or refunded. Once you spend it, it's gone forever. Now ask yourself honestly, where did your time go yesterday? How much time did you spend scrolling? Watching short videos? Checking messages that didn't matter? Overthinking conversations that changed nothing? Waiting, delaying, escaping? Most people say, I don't have time. But that's not true. You have time. You just don't know where it's going. Let me give you a real example. There was a man with a full-time job, 2 children, and a long daily commute. 12 hours outside the house every day. By most standards, he had no time. But every night, after putting his kids to sleep, he sat at the table with a notebook. 1 hour. Just one. He didn't scroll. He didn't complain. He learned, planned, and built quietly. 1 hour a night doesn't sound impressive. But 5 years later, that 1 hour changed his life. He built a new skill, a new income, and eventually a new future. Not because he had more time than you, but because he respected the time he had. Now think about social media. If you spend just 3 hours a day scrolling, that's over 1,000 hours a year. That's more than 40 full days of your life. Ask yourself, honestly, what could 40 focused days do for your future? Learn a skill. Build a body. Start a business. Change your direction completely. Social media doesn't steal your time all at once. It leaks it. Slowly. Quietly. And that's why it's dangerous. Now let's talk about power hours, because this is where focus becomes unfairly powerful. Your brain is not equally sharp all day. There are certain hours when your mind is clear, fast, and creative. And there are hours when it's tired, slow, and foggy. Those peak moments are your power hours. Most people waste them. They wake up and immediately grab their phone. Notifications, messages, reels, news. By the time they try to work on their goals, their best mental energy is already gone. Power hours are not the whole day. For most people, they are just 1 to 3 hours. Early morning for some, late night for others. The time when ideas flow easily and focus feels natural. Your job is to find those hours and protect them like a CEO protects a critical meeting. Ask yourself, when do I feel most alive mentally? When does my mind work best? Don't guess. Observe yourself for a week. Once you know your power hours, everything changes. That time is no longer available for scrolling, chatting, or random tasks. That time is reserved for the one thing that moves your life forward. Imagine this. You wake up at 6 a.m. normally. You scroll until 8. Now imagine instead you wake up, no phone, and work deeply for 2 hours on your dream. By the time the world wakes up, you've already built something. You're already ahead. What you can do in 1 focused hour, during your power time, is worth more than 5 distracted hours later. Protect your power hours. Turn off notifications. Put your phone in another room. Close the door. Set a timer. Work like it matters, because it does. This isn't about being extreme. It's about being intentional. Because one day, you'll look back and realize something painful. The life you wanted was possible. You just kept spending your best hours on things that gave you nothing back. Don't let that be your story. Respect your time. Guard your energy. Use your power hours wisely. This is not about hustle. This is about not wasting your life. And once you understand this, focus stops being a struggle. It becomes a choice. Let me be honest with you. Procrastination is not a small problem. It's not a harmless habit. It's not, I'm just tired today. Procrastination is a slow death. And it kills your future quietly, one delay at a time. I know how it works because I've lived it. You wake up and tell yourself you'll start after breakfast. Then after lunch. Then at 5 p.m. sharp. Then you say, I'll just watch one video first. Suddenly, it's night. You go to bed tired, guilty, and your dream is still untouched. That's how life passes. Not with one big failure, but with small excuses repeated every day. Why do we procrastinate? Because we wait to feel ready. We wait for motivation. We wait for confidence. But here's the truth no one tells you. You will never feel fully ready. Fear will always be there. Doubt will always be there. If you wait for the perfect feeling, you will wait forever. That's why the 5-second rule works. The moment your mind says, I should do this, count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move. Stand up. Open the book. Open the laptop. Start. Don't think. Thinking is where excuses are born. Starting is the hardest part. Once you start, momentum takes over. 1 page becomes 5. 5 minutes become 30. Energy follows action, not the other way around. Now let's talk about your body, because this is where many people lie to themselves. You say you can't focus, but you slept 4 hours. You skipped breakfast. You drank sugar instead of water. You sat all day and never moved. Then you blame yourself for being lazy. Your body is not separate from your mind. Your body is the machine that runs your dreams. If the machine is broken, focus disappears. Sleep is not laziness. Sleep is your brain recharging. When you sleep well, your mind clears, your memory sharpens, and your attention improves. Protect your sleep like it's your weapon. Movement is not optional. You don't need a gym. You don't need fancy equipment. You need to move. Walk, stretch, run, breathe. When you move your body, you release chemicals that reduce stress and increase focus. A tired body creates a tired mind. Food matters more than you think. What you eat becomes what you think. Heavy, processed food creates a heavy, foggy mind. Clean, simple food gives you stable energy. Drink water. Eat light. Feed your brain properly. Now here's where discipline becomes sustainable. Balance pain and pleasure. Pain is discipline. It's waking up early. It's doing the hard task. It's saying no to comfort. Pain teaches strength. It builds confidence. But pleasure is recovery. It's rest. It's laughter. It's music. It's time with people you love. Pleasure should heal you, not help you escape. Most people get this wrong. They use pleasure to avoid pain. They scroll, binge, and distract to escape guilt. That's not rest. That's avoidance. Do the hard work first. Then enjoy your rest without guilt. When pain has meaning and pleasure has limits, focus becomes sustainable. You don't need to destroy yourself to succeed. You need to stop destroying your energy. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You are just tired and unfocused. And the moment you start moving, sleeping, eating, and acting with intention, your mind will wake up. There is a way out. And it starts with action, not excuses. Let's end this with the truth most people avoid. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You are distracted. And distraction is not a personal failure. It's a designed environment. Your focus is being attacked every day by triggers that look normal. Your phone. Your surroundings. Even some people around you. They don't shout at you to quit your dream. They whisper. Just 5 minutes. You deserve a break. Start tomorrow. And before you know it, another day is gone. Your phone is the strongest trigger. Be honest. How many times do you unlock it without thinking? Every scroll resets your focus to zero. Not just your time, but your mental clarity. After scrolling, try to read a page, plan your future, or think deeply. You can't. Your mind is scattered. Your environment is the second trigger. A messy room, a noisy desk, a screen always blinking. What your eyes see, your mind reacts to. You cannot build clarity in chaos. Order your space, and your mind will follow. The third trigger is people. Some people don't mean harm, but every conversation leaves you more doubtful, more distracted, more drained. Protecting your focus sometimes means creating distance. Not forever, just enough to grow. So here's your trigger audit. Take a pen. Write down what breaks your focus every day, where it comes from, and how you can reduce or remove it. Put your phone in another room. Block distracting apps. Clean your workspace. Set boundaries. Replace triggers with better options. And now the final truth. Success is boring. Every meaningful achievement is built on repetition. The same actions. The same routines. The same discipline. Day after day. When no one is watching. When there is no excitement. When it feels dull. This is where most people quit. Not because it's hard, but because it's boring. But boredom is where identity is formed. Repetition rewires who you are. When you do something daily, it stops being an effort and becomes part of you. You don't brush your teeth because you're motivated. You do it because it's who you are. Imagine if working on your dream felt the same way. No debate. No drama. Just action. Fall in love with boring. Because boring builds mastery. Boring builds confidence. Boring builds freedom. You don't need a new personality. You need a quieter environment and consistent repetition. You are not broken. Your dream is not dead. It's waiting for your attention. So start today. Remove one trigger. Do one boring task. Protect 1 hour. Repeat tomorrow. If this message spoke to you, subscribe. Not for motivation, but for direction. We're not here to hype you up. We're here to help you build a life you don't want to escape from. We grow together. one focused day at a time.